Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
What is that? 19! Hey, watch the leg.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
They'll start with a give to Cohen. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here we go. Mike 55, Mike 55. Watch the run, watch the run, watch the run. Shoot up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Throwing is Jackson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. This is going to be a good one-on-one battle to watch. Both of these guys play the game at the highest level.
Both of them are terrific competitors. They play the game with great athleticism, and smarts as well.
And in this early round, the defense wins. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys...
And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Three and a half to go, first quarter. First down, a run with Cohen. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
Boy, you go 3 and out on your first drive, and that's not the way you want to start this drive either. Doesn't seem like they're really into it just yet.
No, first 4 plays, you don't want to call it a disaster, but not looking very sharp.
Here we go. 18 data. 65.
They'll run on second down with Cohen. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. He may try and run for this. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
Pin the mirrors back and go full strip. He's coming. We got double up.
They'll run on first down. It's Cohen. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. 3rd down here.
That's just flat out a terrific play because it's rare that you see a hitch route batted down. That means someone read that one really well and was right on the spot when the ball got to the receiver.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
It shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out at me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating, there he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
From the gun on third, Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines.
That's it, baby. We got work.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And now he'll tuck it and run. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
36-yard line.
Let's go now. 55, my guy, 55. Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Slow. Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. Hey, tighten down. There you go.
This time, Jackson will throw it. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Check.
From the gun, Jackson. Man open, it's Cup. He's got it. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Here's Jackson. Flushed out right. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle, 55. Y'all not ready. Mike,
Play action. Now Jackson eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
55, Mike, guy, 55. Yeah, let's get sack lunch. Mike, 55, Mike, 55. That's it. Ready? Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up.
Again, Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews.
Let's go.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 33.
Check, 55. Check, 55.
Now Jackson on first down. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Now a shotgun handoff to Cohen. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Andrews, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They started on the ground with Eckler. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. From the gun, here's Watson. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at about the 28. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now this time he'll look to throw. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Cooper Kupp, his second touchdown on the season as the Ravens push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
To throw again on second down. Watson. He'll get a couple yards on that one. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. It's their quarterback. His third touchdown of the game, 10th on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. A shotgun snap for Watson. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Watson being chased out left. He's going to take off with it. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Motion, bump, 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 bump. 12's the mic. Oh, here we go. Oh.
Out of the gun, Watson. And that will be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Parker, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Let's go. Come to the ending. Check 55, Mike. All day, pump.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Jackson, that is caught by Cohen. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for it with Cohen. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. From midfield now, here's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
I'm coming after you.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Watson, and finding the tight end Hooper. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. The Texans send the punter out as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
And that is going to be a safety. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Now it's Watson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Now Watson operating from the gun. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Running on first down, Eckler. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Here's Watson. Open man is QT, complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards there and a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
You ain't doing nothing today. Whip. Watch the whip.
Here's Watson on the sneak. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. They'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just...
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Another try after the first down sack. Watson. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. On third down, a run with Cohen. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this one? Both of these guys running the ball well.
Yeah, they've mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them